Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today is another day of the 0 to Gold Cap Challenge. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so today we are going to be going over the gold for the day for starters, and then we'll get into the farm. Now that being the case, let's just have a look at what we've actually pulled from our materials and anything general-esque, anything besides Transmog. So let's have a look for today. Now, the things that are of note that we've actually managed to sell is 94,267 gold's worth of stuff. That's pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. The things of note that we've actually sold is a mechanized chopper for 28,499 gold. We've also sold a glyph of fell imp, 3 of those for 2,502 gold, along with Crashing Thrashing Cannon Controller, which we did a video on the other day, for 1,733 gold. Not the best one, but it's like essentially a 5-minute farm, so that's just gold for basically logging onto an alt. So that's not too bad. The next thing of note is a whopping 29,003 gold for 47 Vantage Runes of Nyalotha, the Waking City. Pretty happy with that. Fell Hide, 17 of those for 2,083 gold. And Ultramarine Ink, we sold 5,000 for 1,642 gold. Obviously, Ultramarine Ink is super cheap, so that being the case, I'm not going to lose sleep over that. Leviathan's Eye, 98 of those for Leviathan's Eye of Strength, sorry, for 98 of those for 2,511 gold. We also sold Tome of the Quiet Mind, 41 of those for 4,679 gold. And along with that, we also sold a Highborn Compendium of Swirling Tides for 1,449 gold. Monolite Ore, our batch stuff from all of our stuff from our guild bank. That was 1,725 of those for 11,651 gold, along with Fell Cloth, 84 of that for 4,323 gold, rounding it up to a nice total of 94,267 gold overall. So let's pull in all of that gold all together. So that's a big chunk to add into all of our stuff. Now, for obvious reasons, I've actually been posting not as regularly this week, mainly because I've been a little bit distracted with the Worth It beta and all that stuff, and just trying to get back into the swing of things after my holiday. So looking at that, I'm pretty chuffed on how less frequently, it was basically once every 2 days I was reposting my auctions, and we still managed to pull in a decent amount. So I'm quite happy with that. That leaves us with 1,354,697 gold in total. So I'm pretty happy with the way things are going thus far. So let's just jump over to our Transmog toon. Okay, so now we're actually looking at our Transmog toon, and for obvious reasons, I've been posting once every 2 days, so bear that one in mind, mainly because I kept forgetting and just crashing on sleep, and also just focused on fixing some of the bugs inside the Worth It beta. So that being the case, the mailbox for today is 16,861 gold. Not overly too great, but I'm still pretty happy with that overall. We sold a recipe of Dream Vision for 1,627 gold, a Pretty Draenor Pearl for 4,630 gold, and a Sorcerer's Drape of the Aurora, 1,480 gold, and an Uncanny Combatant Satin Cloak of the Harmonious for 1,059 gold, along with Exquisite Flame Barge Aurora Barge, I don't know how to pronounce that, but it was the Trickster's Leggings for 2,808 gold. I was reading the wrong thing. Now, the Uncanny Satin Cloak, once again, for 1,059 gold, bringing our total up to 16,861 gold. So I'm pretty damn happy on the way things are going thus far. We've definitely pulled in a decent amount. We've pulled in well over 100,000 gold this week, so I'm pretty happy on the way things are going at this moment. I'm probably not going to send that much over for this week. We're probably just going to hold on to this 24,000 gold on this character, as we've still got a decent amount on the auction house. Now, we do have over 919 auctions of our Transmog, not nearly enough, and it's 1.2 thousand well, 1.2 million gold's worth of items. So that being the case, let's just jump over to Corthana to get into the farm for the day. Okay, so the farm for the day is Botanica. And yes, I fancied farming up the Botanica, or Botanica. Now, this one is located within Netherstorm, and it's right here next to Tempest Keep. It's basically the first one on the left. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to show you the route on how to farm it up, and then we're going to port to Dalaran and we'll go over all of our stuff, because obviously my mailbox is still on cooldown, so I can't just mobile bank like that. So that being the case, let's jump inside. What I'm actually currently doing is just farming up this entire instance. Now, the way I do Botanica is I just run it as I would, like I will farm up the entire area, go all the way around to the last boss. And that's basically what you do. You just gather up all the mobs from the first lot and just gather them up and burn them down right at the end. Now, you can just segment this, like you can round this up and just burn them down here or something to that effect, but I tend to not. I just like to, I find it easier for myself to gather them all up and burn them down right at the end. I find that to be the best way in which I like to do it. Now, obviously this comes under personal preference. You're still killing the same amount of mobs, but I just prefer to do it that way. So that being the case, we're just going to end up just running around the area, gathering up all of the mobs. You don't have to grab the bosses necessarily, but you can at the same time. If you do pull a boss, it's not really the end of the world. They'll just follow you right to the end, which I've done on multiple occasions. And it's usually that first boss that we just went past. She usually tags along and tries to kill you. But what I've tended to do is just gather up all the mobs and make my way around here. There's only a couple of times I use my soothe ability, which is coming up right now, and I grab this first pack of little mobs right there. That will grab the aggro. I click on the sorcerer just over there, and then I use my soothe on him, and then I grab the aggro with that guy Satyr, and then we can then speed boost all the way up. Obviously there's invisible mobs, and the run is actually relatively short in order to do. Now, you can kill these guys on the way, which will take a little bit longer, but I tend to gather them up all at the end. They do take a while to pull all at the end, but at the end of the day, it's really not that bad. On the last boss, however, that is Warp Splinter, as we're coming up to him right now, I will actually grab the little mini trash mobs that are up near him. They're just standard level 80s, and I'll run up to the last boss. Now this guy is actually able to be herbalismed, so you can herb him basically. And once you've killed him, you can herb him for additional primals and all that stuff. So I actually managed to get a few primal lives just from doing the last boss, and it was pretty cool. As you can tell, all of the mobs start pooling over here, and they just tend to just flood in. Now they do have a silence ability, which they can use, and you do get a lot of reputation within the Shartar. Now the Shartar, for instance, with Botanica, in 2 runs, which I've only done 2 runs, I have actually gotten halfway to exalted just from doing 2 runs, and that was coming from a neutral standpoint. So I'm pretty damn chuffed on how it actually happened and all that jazz. So I'm really chuffed with the way things are going at that. Now obviously we didn't get an awful lot of loot. This one's kind of like an up in the air one. The main reason people do Botanica, as we've just finished the actual run, you will then run out through the exit portal, which is just here, and then you'll reset the instance, go all the way around again. And the thing that I found with Botanica is it's mainly the high ticket BC items. Now, much like with the BC high ticket items, you can get like certain recipes and all that jazz, and it's mainly the epics that you're looking for and some of the blues. Now we'll just wait for everything to load in, because I am super impatient when it comes to things loading up and stuff. Now we've managed to get quite a few things when it came to all of this, so let's just jump into our Brutosaur and get rid of all the stuff that we don't actually want, and then we can add that all in. So just vendor all of the soulbound items, all of the different things that you actually got along with this, and then that leaves us with that. We actually got quite a lot of arcane tomes, by the way. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go into our lock boxes. We actually managed to get quite a few lock boxes from this, like I mean a lot, and that was pretty damn awesome. It's like 7 corium lock boxes from that, so pretty damn happy overall. Nicely filling out for our lock boxes. Transmog, we managed to fill it completely, but it's all low-end transmog items, brilliant for padding. And we also got a load more transmog items as well. We're actually just going to bung those all in there before we send them over to Dalamogs to post on the auction house. Now, the things of note, however, let's just jump over there, send all this in. And the things that we actually managed to get is quite a lot of materials. We got a load of like mana thistle. We got 7 primal lives. They're like 100 gold each, so that's 700 gold for basically doing not a lot. We got a lot of Sun Fury signets, which we can sell on the auction house for 75 silver each. Pretty happy with that because we've got like over 558 of that. We've got some nether weave cloth. We can either choose to turn those into bags or not. We also got the arcane tomes. They sell at the moment for me 8 gold on my realm, but the region market value average is 79 gold each. That's brilliant because in 2 runs we've managed to get 40. That's a nice hefty amount of gold. Like seriously, if it's like anywhere from like 50 gold for an arcane tome on your server, 40 is pretty damn hefty for a gold per hour wise. And that's just for the arcane tome. So maybe you may want to double check your arcane tomes on your server before you go do this farm. Now we did get a few low tier transmog items. We actually got the Essence Enforcer. If you remember, this was like an old BC weapon. It was actually a pretty good blue to actually use back in the day. But other than that, just nice little transmog. You've also got the pants, which look pretty cool. And the main thing was the Lightning Crown. That has a sell rate of 0.02 and it sells on my realm for a min buyout of 5,000 gold or a market value of 13,654 gold or a region market value average of 12,268 gold. So pretty damn good. I'm really curious to see what it actually looks like. It is actually just a cheesy little helmet type thing, so I'm really not going to lose sleep over all that. So in conclusion with this, what do I think of Botanica? Botanica is a quite frequently used dungeon, and that is mainly due to the fact that it's just so easy to run, and there's quite a lot of high density of mobs in there, which give you quite a lot of greens, as we've just seen. We've got quite a lot of greens from that. So great for padding out your auction house is what I would say. Is it worth it to do it all the time? Probably not. You're probably best served doing like Razorfen Crawl, Razorfen Downs, or any of the old world vanilla stuff, or even Mana Tombs. Mana Tombs actually netted better than the Botanica. But if you wanted to go for padding out your auction house, Botanica is definitely something you may want to bear in mind if you want to hit that high density on the auction house of items. So that being the case, in total, great for padding, not so good for single high ticket items. Other than that, what are we going to be doing in the future? And that is, we'll go into the new version of Worth It, and we'll go into my farm planner. I do have Scarlet Halls, Meriden, Ragefire Chasm, Black Fathom Deeps, Razorfen Downs, Scarlet Monastery, Gnomrigan, Wailing Caverns, Black Rock Spire, Scholomance, the Dead Mines, Temple of Artal Hakar, and the Stockades in order to actually farm up at this moment. So that is something that I may want to bear in mind. I am kind of pondering on the Wailing Cavern, so I may just do that next. But other than that, guys, that is pretty much all I'm going to have to say for the day. The only thing that I have to update people about is if you're on the beta, I have now just finished fixing all of the stats on the battle pets for gold valuations when it comes to like raid pets, open world pets, and rare pets that you can farm up. So that is something you guys may want to bear in mind if you are on the beta. Now, that being the case, they're all fixed and done to their corresponding level 1s, so we shouldn't have a problem going forward. So other than that, guys, have an awesome rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow.